And now unmuting myself and killing the music. I'm certain to check that now. I've got a couple of reasons why. Because one, I was coming in low at one point, and then on another stream I was coming in really high. So I've been trying to be very cognizant of checking that before as I bring us in. But we are back. The fleshy tan color, that is Brittany, who just magically appeared. So true to form, with the holidays that have come up and we're starting to pass, obviously we are dealing with people who are remote or sick or whatnot. So very thankful everybody could make it today. Rachel not feeling so well, Brittany out on vacation. And of course, just the usual stuff, the gambit of things that pop up around this time tends to be very busy, last minute shopping and whatnot. So, and of course, today begins the first day of Whamageddon. So please beware. Try to stay safe, and don't get caught. See as long as you can last. I struck out really quick, like I think within the first day or two, it popped up on the radio when I was going to work, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. Damn it.
What are you talking about?
So you just not hear it, or
yeah, you just can't hear it, and you survive Whamageddon.
Okay, well then I don't even know anything about it. Then I'm good.
It's the song by Wham, the Christmas song. It gets played almost as much as Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
See, that's my favorite Christmas song. The Mariah Carey one. I don't know about the other one.
But somebody started. It became a meme.
Oh.
It kind of became a meme, and people started calling it the Whamageddon because it played so much. So it's like you survive if you don't hear it on the radio. If you happen to hear it, like randomly pops up, well, then you're dead. The Whamageddon has taken you as well.
That's funny.
So with that little bit of trivia aside,
lovely,
useless tidbit of information. Okay, so take it away, Todd. Where did we all leave off at?
Oh goodness. Okay, so when we last left our adventurers here, oh my goodness, Kanamaros and William were working on establishing the moon path and making it into a moon bridge, so that the cairns could be connected.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had rejuvenated the small little pond that's there.
I played in mud.
Yes, you played in mud. And so it's the spears that were dormant have been revitalized there. And Sean is working on the rite itself. On the other side of the country, our ladies have all witnessed the power of
Kung Fu
Zanshi through her combat stylings, and they've met with the master. And the master had been at the table talking about getting them together about where they're supposed to go. And they were at the table, the position of 12 at the table at that point. So we left with them sitting down at the table. So I would think that we should probably start with them at the table, since the conversation had just finished at that point, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Okay. So Zanshi's at the table, and so we've spread out at the table, and he's talking about that there is within the dojo here, within Old Chinatown, there are powers under the earth that we can travel with. The city itself above ground is too populated. It's too in too many ways too removed from Gaia. And then he looks over at Montana and says, not all of us have the ability or the ways to connect to Gaia outside of nature. So this is something that we all need to be connected one with each other. Out of character, have we all introduced ourselves? I can't remember. I think you guys had just no.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
Okay, I think you just came and sat at the table, and you guys just all sat down, and he was just starting to talk. So he says, I'm getting above beyond myself. Before I go any further, I need to introduce myself. I am Master Zifu. I am the master of this dojo, and you have all been called here today as part of your journey towards reunifying the Fera within this continent. He looks over at oh gosh, sorry. He looks over at Kagami, and he's just like, and then also Zanshi. You've traveled far to be with us at this table today, and you bring with you the culture from our past. I would ask if we would start with you ladies to introduce yourselves to the others at the table.
She kind of looks around. Are we supposed to say what clan we're from too?
He has not said that. He just said introduce yourself. So if you want to ask in some way,
Well,
you
no,
can
she's
ask
asking that out loud. Like, do you want us to say what we are too?
that. I think it would be timely to say that. So I should say then that I am not Fera. I am kinfolk. My my master is Katsuni. That is the family clan that I am part of.
Sorry, Rachel's brain farting. Oh, Corax. I'm like, what's the name of my clan again? Rachel's brain farting because Rachel's not feeling well. Okay, so she's gonna kind of look around and be like, "Hi, I'm Kagami. I came from Japan, and I am of the Corax family."
Well met, Kagami, and thank you for coming today. Zanchi?
As Master has stated, I am Sunshi. You may call me Chen. I have traveled here from China. My grandfather is a member of the Beast Court there, and I am a Khan.
Luciano goes, yeah, I'll speak first. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. So me and the boys, I'm Luciano. This is Francis over here. And he looks at you. He looks at you at Montana and the girls, and he's like, in case you haven't figured it out, yeah, we're the Ratkin.
My name's Yeva Karakanyan. I'm from here, but also not from here. I'm from the Bagheera clan.
I guess that means I'm up. I just looked everyone at the table. I'm Montana Divine. At your service, I specialize in aesthetics and growing multiple legs. So,
Oh yeah.
You're an interesting crowd.
Quite an interesting crowd. So Zanshi looks at everybody. He's looking for familiarity. So like to say like when you all introduced your aspect of Gaia, what you were, just to see if everybody recognized what each thing was. So Zanshi, he looks over at Francis and he says, and he's just like, you look a little confused, sir. And Francis is like,
me.
What's that?
She, not he. You said he, but you said Zanshi. Did you mean the master, or did you mean me?
No, I meant the master. I not
Okay,
the master.
there we go.
I said Zanshi, but I didn't mean Zanshi. I meant Lim Don. Lim Don says this.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, so Lim Don is looking over at Francis, and he says, you look a little confused, sir." And he's like, "Okay, so I get what she is," and he's pointing at you at Brittany's character, and he goes, "So you're one of the cats, right?" I mean, that's kind of why we were a little skittish at first when we first met you, you know. So, but
You said.
what's that?
So you said.
So yeah, but you're like, it's not like you're a con or something like that. That would be, you know, there's no dealing with the con, you know. So
I mean, I can hold my own in a fight, but not like her.
oh no, I'm not talking about the fighting aspect. Like the cons are just bastards, man. I mean, they got a rule. They got to be on top. And if I was speaking to one, he would make sure that I wasn't speaking. You know, it just they. So I've never dealt with. How does it work? I mean, is it like? I know it's Bastet is like the bigger one. Are you guys called clans or tribes or what is that?
Tribes, particularly, but I mean, I don't know exactly how it works with them, but my tribe, we don't play with others very often.
Right. And the con don't play
So
well.
this,
They don't play well with others, but they
so
make
this
it very clear.
whole group thing, I don't know why. I mean, I should say, I think I know why we're doing this, because in my line of work, I've come across things that I know I can't tackle on my own, and I hope that you all are part of that. But on the other hand, I'm not sure why. I mean, it will be interesting to see all of us together. I'll just say, because some of us don't really do that.
So, not all of you have met Basukos. It's so I'm getting some names mixed up. I want to be clear here because I'm going back with my own notes and I apologize. It's Master Yang that is the master of the dojo, and Lim Don is the one that's speaking a lot. Lim Don is standing behind Master Yang. Okay, Master Yang he's kinfolk to the Kitsune. Lim Don, he's speaking for Master Yang. Um, Only a couple of you have met Basukos. He's a Native American gentleman. He actually comes walking in. He wasn't present at the table when you all were being seated and everything. He walks in through one of the doors that you guys did not walk in on. So he's got like it's almost like I don't know what kind of hat it's called. It's like a fedora, but it's a squatted fedora, and it's all black, and it looks like it's been folded up and maybe used as a pillow a few times. He's got like a leather vest on that's kind of like got tassels on it. He's got a shirt that's he's clearly slept in a shirt a lot. You all recognize him because this is the man that was in all of your dreams at the beginning of the Chronicle. That was in the background. Some of you saw a silhouette of him. Some of you saw the scar on his face. But when he walks in the room, you all recognize him from your dreams. So, Brittany, when you're talking about it, I'm not really sure why I'm here. When you see him walk in the room, it's like a light has just been turned on. It's like, wait a second, you're seeing him walk in. Everybody else is seeing him. Individually, you're all making this connection of, I remember this guy from my dream. So he looks at each one of you in turn, and he says, I have been listening, and I am present with you today. I have brought the cat and bird from over the seas to here to meet today, with the ones that are here as well. The Guru have failed this continent. And the Guru, in many ways, have failed this world, and Gaia is not pleased. We have been called, I have been called to form a group of Fera to strengthen all the Fera that have been weakened by being separate. Each one of you will represent your tribe, your species, your families. This aspect of being weak separately will make us stronger when we come together. I spirit walked within your dreams and spoke to all of you within your dreams, but the conversations are, I think, is what guided you here today. How many of you remember me from the dream when I spirit walked within your dream? So you're like raising your hand, uncomfortable. And Francis and Luciano are like, they're raising their hand too, like, yeah, I remember this guy. Yeah. He's like, it is good that we are here today. We are going to connect a moon bridge today through a long forgotten path. We are going to meet another Fera on the way, and then from there, going to our central location. This journey is a choice of a life-changing decision. This is not a journey that will be over within a month or within a year. I come to you because Gaia has led me to you. You are all in a place in your life now that you can remove yourself from society for a time being to train to become one of the leaders of this new entity. I have a commitment already from the ladies here, and he's pointing over to Stacy and Rachel. I look to you two ladies now to see if, and you gentlemen, if you are willing to commit towards this endeavor at this point.
I'm just going to look around and, well, it seems like that's what all the cool kids are doing, so count me in, boss.
Wait, so when you say withdrawing from the world, what exactly do you mean by that?
There is a facility that is in an undisclosed location that is within this continent that you will train to fight the Formori that are stronger, to fight the Bane spirits that are here. There are masters within this facility that will train you in fighting in physical forms as well as in spiritual form as well.
So we're going to devote the next year plus to this training school?
You will train for 6 months, and we will go forward to see if you have reached the level from adept to master or Sifu.
So I gather you mean that we won't be participating in our regular life
No,
occupations.
no, you will be removed from your occupation. Luciano stands up and just says, "I'm out. Good luck to all of you here. Francis, you can stay if you want, but I got too much going on. I'm out." So he just stands up and he it's almost like he's falling out of the chair. He's getting up so quickly, and he gets up and he's pushing his own chair, and he's like, "Frankie, are you coming?" And Francis is like, "Boss, I don't know. I've been like low man on the totem pole for a long time, and it seems as though like this may be a way to do something, with my life, and I think this might be a good thing for me." And Luciano's like, you've got my blessing. You may stay. Yang, Master Yang, is that right? Yeah. Which way's out? I'm gonna go. I gotta get my cell phone. I'm gonna call up. Ladies, you need a ride? I'm going.
Wow.
I'm just smiling because he ticked me off with all of that stuff about Khan. And so, like, when he's like, I'm out, I'm like, bye.
Yeah, like good riddance. Not brave enough. Okay.
So we're doing this like right now.
Um,
I mean, do I have time to make some? I mean, I should probably call my boss and let him know that
but
he won't hear from
Basuko
me
says
for a while.
you may make phone calls. You may sever whatever ties you need for here. Miss Montana, you have your business. If you need to call others to take over your business for you, the ladies here have already taken care of their affairs. Francis, if you need to make some phone calls, as Francis yeah, I can make some phone calls. I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go walk my boss out. I'll make some phone calls and do I bring my piece with me? Is that okay? Or do I don't know what's going on with I see when she was fighting over there, doing all that stuff. I didn't see any guns. So am I leaving my gun? Because I'm good with a knife too, mind you. And Basukosh is like, it would be better if you left your piece, your revolver with your other man here if he is leaving. A simple knife is fine. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that then. I'm gonna go walk Lucy outside. And I'll take care of some business and some phone calls, and then I'll be back in. What, 10, 20? What I got? Basukos just take the time you need. I need to prepare the world travel to get to the cairn. So Luciano and Francis both stand up. Luciano's like, no offense, ladies. I got too many things going on here in the city. I can't leave, And Francis, he's a good man. He'll take care of you here. With my blessing, he can take care of you here. Francis turns to the ladies. He's like, you leave anything in the car I gotta get for you? You guys okay?
I didn't bring anything.
I think I'm quite all right, but thank you.
All right. Oh, yeah. The guns. I got to get those guns back from you because I'm going to give those to the boss so that he can take care of those guns. You still got the piece in your purse there, Montana, or did you leave it in the car?
I'm gonna open my bag and take it out and hand it like that.
Okay.
I
And
left
then
mine in the car.
you were shooting that gun too. Did you leave yours in the car?
I left it in the car.
All right. Yeah. Not smart, but that's good. Okay. So I'll
I
go.
figured we wouldn't need it here.
He's like, no, yeah, you don't need it here, but you don't want to leave a piece in the car, So I got to walk to the car and everything back. So I got Lim Don, are you going to help me get around through the old Chinatown thing? Because I know I can. You walked us here. Are you going to help me get there and back quicker? Because I can do it, but I don't know. I'm not real good about pushing people out of the way, and I might cause a scene. Lim Don he's like, I will escort you to your vehicle. Come with me, gentlemen. So Lindon goes around, he whispers in Master Yang's ear for a moment, and he stands up, and then he escorts Francis and Luciano out the door. Basukos just turns to both you ladies. You have your cell phones. How much time do you need to prepare to sever ties?
Do I need to bring anything? Clothes? Pack up anything?
Everything you need will be provided there.
Then just give me 15 to make a phone call.
All right.
I'll need about the same. I shouldn't be too long.
Do you need a room to go to, or will you just for privacy for your phone calls?
Is there anything actually private here? It was a rhetorical question. It's okay, but I appreciate it.
Master Yang says, looks to Kagami and oh gosh,
Jen.
Jen, thank you. Looks like Kagami and Jen and just says, could you take the ladies back to your rooms since they are private, so that if they could make phone calls within your rooms, and you could retrieve whatever you have that's inside those rooms. That way, all you ladies can speak to each other.
Absolutely. Here, come on, guys. I'll show you.
I already was like, I was nodding, so ready to. The four of us walk, I guess.
Yeah. So now the four of you guys are walking along. So you're not. I mean, there's people in the side passages and everything, and there's still people like back to working out in the main sparring area. But they're taking you back to the back hallways towards where the rooms are. And so both of you ladies, you just thought this was like a dojo. Last time that you were here, Yevi, you had no idea there were rooms or anything like that back here. You just thought it was like a dojo. You had no idea there was apartments or anything here. So the fact that they're taking you, yeah, it's not like a transdimensional kind of thing. It's just the way it's located within. It's just it doesn't look. The building connects to another building, so when you're on the outside, it doesn't look like it's the same building. So they're walking. So you're like, oh, this is all connected, kind of thing. So you guys got like about a minute or so to chat with each other as you're walking back.
So do you guys like live here?
No, we're visiting like you guys. We just happened to get here first, that's all.
Have you been here long?
Day or two?
No, I think it's been a day maybe. It's been longer, it doesn't feel like it.
English is very good.
Well, yeah. I mean, they teach everybody English in Japan, so.
I'm like, again, I don't interact with a ton of other people, like, so I'm kind of like shy about it. It's like, I've learned to trust Kagami, but I don't know people yet. So I'm just kind of like, okay. And so I'll just offer him, like, I've had a lot of training in China. I didn't know I was preparing for this, but there's many skills that I've been taught in preparation.
That was very clear back there. You did it was very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was extraordinary.
I'm sure
Most
you
of
could
my
teach
life
us
has been in the
too.
dojo.
Very cool.
All right, so they're going to walk you guys back to the rooms. You can role play it out if you want, or you can just say you're taking care of your affairs. Is there anything that you want to specifically do while you're making phone calls, or who do you want to call, or?
I'm just going to create a mass email to my client list and say temporarily closed. We'll let you know when we're reopening.
Okay.
I'd like to make 2 phone calls.
Okay.
One to my editor, just saying that I'm going undercover and he wouldn't hear from me for a long time. But I hope to have some juicy stuff when I get back. And I would also like to check in with my father and just verify that he is aware of all of this stuff and ask him to take care of my mom.
You don't get a hold of Dad, but you're able to leave a voicemail for him. And when you leave the voicemail with your contact number, he quickly calls you back, like he's screening his calls kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And so he quickly calls you back, and he's just like, so little one, they have contacted you.
So I guess you knew about this.
They needed one of our family, or one of our kind, and they asked for a recommendation. And since it was of North America, I thought that you would be the perfect recommendation for this new life choice.
He says it's going to be about a year, maybe more.
That's what was explained to me as well, that you will be trained, and you will continue the fight for Gaia there, in new ways.
Be right back.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I mean, if it's what Gaia needs, that's what I'm here for.
This is what Gaia wants. This is the call for the land.
And I guess in those terms, it's a great honor.
I am honored that you have made this choice as well. I will speak to your mother, and I will let her know, so she is not worried, that you are taken care of.
Thanks, Dad.
So
I guess I'll be in touch when I can.
You have my number. Whether I answer this number or not, I will always call back. So that's, you will know how to get a hold of me. And the master, I don't know his name there. I can contact him if there's some need that I need to get a hold of you.
Yeah, it sounds like he'll know how to do that.
So Gaia's blessing upon you, and I will keep you in my spirit and keep you in my heart.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys now. What's that?
See you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Yeah. All right. Since Rachel stepped out, I'm gonna pause with you guys. So you guys are getting everything prepared to go. So let's go back to Catamaros over here. So Catamaros, you when we last left you, you had just got the life has been invigorated back in the cairn at this point. Sean was saying to you he needed to prepare for the rite, and that you were very clear. I don't know anything about the rites that's going on here. This is not my deal.
And I'm in the nude skinny dipping.
Yes. And so he's actually swimming with you, but he's keeping a social distance kind of thing. But he's like, when you went nude and started swimming, he's like, dude, that's what it's going to be like. All right, I'll go too, man. So he's in there swimming and everything. He swims with you for a bit, and he just says, because I'm gonna get, so there. Okay, the fact that sorry. Okay, since you don't know rights, it's really kind of hard to explain all this to you.
I did not say I don't understand rights. I do not understand the ones you are attempting to perform. That is not my task within my former cairn.
Oh, all right. Okay, I'm slow sometimes. I'm sorry, dude.
I know. I'm quickly learning.
Okay, so this was timed perfectly with the full moon. Since tonight is the full moon, we're not just using a moon path. We're going to establish a moon bridge.
Of course.
So a moon path with through the Umbra can be a guided, protected way, but as a moon bridge, it's stable and quicker. So the only thing I need to do at this point is I just need to purify the land from where you took out the Bane spirits. I need to just purify that area, and we need to get not sacrifice, but we need to have some animals voluntarily come forward to give blood for Gaia. All right, how are you with calling animals? Are you not like, I mean, can you round them up and stuff? Are you good with that or no?
This is another cow joke, correct?
No, that's good though. I didn't even think of that. That's pretty good. No,
this is my lack of amusement face.
No, I wasn't even trying to pull your chain, man. I'm just saying we got to get some animals in. So do you have spirit speech or animal speech is what I'm just trying to see. That's all.
I do not.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to transform. Gonna have to go crow form. I'm gonna fly around a bit and see what other avian life form I can get in here, and maybe I can get word out. William over there, I don't know if he can get anybody in or not. He's kind of mad at me right now, and I really don't know why. So I'm gonna go talk to William, and then I'm gonna go, change and stuff. You can keep swimming, keep doing your thing. Could be like Dory, just keep swimming, And oh yeah, sorry, it's a fish. It was a good movie, man. Anyway, so yeah,
Very
do your
well.
thing. I'm gonna go fly around and stuff and see what I can get here. Okay. But I gotta go talk to William and clear the air with him first, man. Okay.
Of course. Well, then you go do that.
All right. So you do your thing. So he gets out. He doesn't even bother drying off or anything. He just puts his clothes back on top of what he's already wearing.
I just sighed
on top of his wet
disgustedly.
body, I should say. So he's putting his clothes on top of his wet body, not drying off at all. And then he just walks up to William and he's talking to him, quiet tone. And you can literally hear William growling as he speaks. Like he does. You don't hear any words, but you can hear like William's got this. Like he's pretty pissed off the way he's talking to Sean right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's all like, he's talking in low tones and everything, and backs up a bit. He transforms, and his clothes and his boots are bound to him, so they go part of his body,
Mm-hmm.
and he just takes off.
Okay.
William walks up to the edge of the water, and he says, "I don't mean to intrude."
There was a finish to that sentence?
You seem to be enjoying yourself within the water. I'm going to go within the forest. It seems as though I have been tasked to try and get animals to voluntarily come. I have no idea how in Guy's name I'm going to get animals to voluntarily come. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's Sean's instructions, and Sean usually does his own things. So if you could just kind of hang out and watch here. I don't expect the Banes to return, but if you can just be on alert and guard, I will return.
Of course.
So he takes his shirt off. He's only wearing jeans, and he's wearing and boots. That's all. He transforms into a bear, and just those two items take part of him. But his shirt's left on the ground. His backpack's on the ground as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he lumbers off into the forest at that point. So you're left in the forest, in the middle of the cairn. You can hear when you first got here. Remember, there was no wildlife noises at all. It was quiet.
Right.
You can now hear in the distance animals calling to each other. They're not close, but you can actually hear animals calling to each other in the distance.
Right.
So whatever you make of that, that's just what you're hearing at this point.
Okay. I'm going to get out and dry myself off at this point.
Okay.
Beyond that, there's really nothing else I can do. That's, again, this whole spiritualism stuff is not my thing.
All right.
My family's thing, not my thing.
Axe? Do you like pull out your axe and get dressed and everything just to be on guard, or you just kind of like
it's a tattoo. I don't have to. It'll come out whenever I need it to.
There you go. All right. So and that's fine too, because if you don't have a weapon out, you're not as imposing. So if you're just kind of hanging out there, you're in Hamid form, right?
Yes. I don't have much of a choice.
Okay. Well. Well, you can be a Minotaur if you want. I don't know.
Well, if we're going for the not imposing, that kind of fails.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so you're just kind of hanging out. There is that. Well, the Cairn Rock is there, and there's some other rocks around. So if you just kind of hang out and observe what's going on, you actually hear rustling within the forest.
Mhm.
Roll perception alertness. Difficulty is 7.
Let me see. Nothing.
All right. So you hear animal noises. That's all
Yep.
you hear, rustling, in the forest. You'll be out there probably a good half hour, maybe an hour, and a badger actually comes out of the forest, and like you can see the face of the badger, like look at you, and looks around the cairn, and then just kind of just stares at you.
Okay. Gonna flip it a nod.
Okay. When you nod at it, it kind of like it actually looks at you. You can tell that it's intelligent. So it looks at you, cocks its head sideways, and then wanders back in the forest at that point.
Okay.
About half an hour later, the badger comes back, and it has a small fox with him. And so now there's a badger and a fox that are just kind of hanging on the outside. They're just going just as far as they were before. So this badger and fox are sitting on the edge of the cairn now looking at you.
Sitting on him.
Nod to the other one as well.
All right. They look at each other and they nod to each other and they kind of chitter at each other. And then they go back in the forest at that point.
Okay.
About a half an hour goes by and you can hear like birds chirping in the forest around you, a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
And a crow comes in and lands next to the cairn stone. Give me your perception alertness again. Difficulty is 8.
Difficulty 8. Ooh, I got something on that one. 3.
3. This is not Sean. The crow that Sean turned into.
Mm-hmm.
This is not Sean. You know this is a different crow.
It smells different.
Yes, it smells different, and he's staring at you. He's just looking at you on the ground. He's pecking at something on the ground, but then he gets up. He continues to go back to looking at you again.
Okay. Evening.
It looks around, back and forth, and looks back at you, kind of like tilts his head a little bit, and then he's clacking his beak, making a noise with his beak, just like clacking his beak at you.
Okay. Yep. I don't have any sort of animal speak of that. I can't speak bird.
You actually hear him laugh in a very close approximation of a human laugh, and then he looks at you and says, he says shiny, and then pecks at the rock on the ground in front of him, not the cairn stone, just this random rock in front of him. So he says shiny, pecks at the rock, and then hops back a few steps.
Yes, it has a reflective surface.
He looks at you crazy, like you can actually perceive, like what the heck. He hops back up to the stone, pecks on the rock, looks at you, pecks on the rock again, and just says, shiny, and then backs up a couple steps. And the rock is not shiny at all. It's just a rock.
All right, so I'm going to pick up the rock. I'm going to go dunk it in the water.
The bird takes off.
It's now shiny.
The bird flies away. About 20 minutes later, you hear a flutter, but you don't see it. It appears maybe to be a bird, but it flies. It flies through, but it's not a bird, but it does fly through the area. So it's got wings and everything, but it's not a bird.
Okay.
So do you stare at it? Do you try to make out what it is?
If it's not a bird and it has wings, yes, it's going to draw my attention. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a bat.
Okay.
So it flies through, does a little graze through, and then comes back out the other side. And then about 15 minutes later, Sean comes in, crow farm, lands in front of you, and just says, and he's like shaking his body, and his clothes are on him and everything. And he's like, dude, they're talking about you, man. Good job.
I'm just going to give him a very fake smile and thumbs up.
He's like, all right. So I've been talking to animals, going out and telling them that you're real. And they're here to check you out, and they've been cool about it. The badger likes you, and you know that little fox guy liked you, and I mean, my friend, he didn't like you because you didn't give him any coins or anything when he was asking for something shiny, and you threw away his rock that he was trying to, like, you know, whatever. But I told him, did you transform or talk to him? And he said if he couldn't figure it out, whatever. So out of all the animals, he's the only one that didn't really get with you. But all the rest
Go
of them
figure.
are kind of, what's that?
Go figure.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. So like, the snake was very happy that you didn't step on him when you stood up. So that was good. There was a gopher, also very happy that you didn't step on his hole when he walked up and checked you out. And the bat guy, when he flew through, Batman was all like, he liked you too. So you got approval. It's coming in.
I wasn't aware this was a competition for approval.
It's not
I'm
really
simply standing around waiting.
No, not a competition or anything. We're just trying to get the animals local in the forest to come back. That's all, man. So William's out there talking to people. He's funny. He's just funny. But he's talking to some guys. I think he's got a boar coming in. And I think he's got he actually chased down an elk. And after chasing down the elk, and the elk kind of pissed itself and everything, he explained to the elk that it was okay, and then the elk is going to come in too. So they're all going to come. And so I got to ask that your axe, your big axe that you got, man. I know it's sharp, but is it like magical sharp, or is it just an axe?
So you would assume that I would waste the effort to bind a rudimentary axe? I would go through the rituals to put a medieval axe to my body?
Dude, I have bound a toothpick to my body before because I needed a toothpick. You know, you bind what you need. So it was a special toothpick.
That is great to know. I did not know that you valued the rye so little.
No.
Very well.
That's the problem between bird and human, man. Teeth. You know, we don't have teeth, and so when I eat,
you have teeth right now.
Yes, and that's why I need the toothpick, because I keep getting stuck in my teeth. So that's why. Anyway,
well.
It's a magical axe. So is it like, what is it? What kind?
It is the equivalent. It is the equivalent of a grand clave, if that helps the reference.
No, it does. So it's not like Stormbringer. You're not going to be like sucking souls or anything like that. Okay, that's cool.
I'm sorry. What?
Sorry, book reference, man. Sorry. Yeah, I know you're not Elric or anything like that. It's cool. All right. So it's just all right. That's cool. So it's powerful. It's of Gaia. So here's the deal. It's probably going to be easiest because it's of Gaia. I was just going to get some thorns and have the animals prick themselves for a drop of blood, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So what I'm thinking is if you could just hold the axe out, like blade out, and they could come and like just how hard do they have to push their paw on the blade to get blood? I mean, is it like?
Would you like to try?
Sure.
I mean, we are required to give blood for Gaia. I'm certain your giving would go over well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So hold on. And he like looks around. He's like, I'm first. Watch, okay? What? See? Go ahead, pull it out, man.
So I'm just gonna pull it right off of my, right off of my back, materialized from the tattoo,
He's like, dude, that's big.
and let it just thump to the ground. Because I don't really have to. I just need to hold it steady. He can, whisk his hand against it or whatever he wants to do.
He's like, oh, is it okay? Is it clean? I'm not gonna get like infected or anything. Am I like? Because you just got through killing Banes and everything. I don't want to mix my stuff with like Bane blood. Like, you cleaned it and all that?
That is a very good question. Does my back look infected?
No,
Do you see any pustules?
No, you're good. You're right. Okay. All right.
If you did, I would ask you to remove them. You are a miniature beast of burden that could do such a thing.
No, I could wait. Okay, man. All right. So here, just hold it steady. I don't want to chop my hand off. Okay?
Oh no, it is quite steady.
Okay. So he like cautiously puts his hand up to it, and he's like touching it like this. It's not razor sharp, right? It's just a sharp axe.
No, it is a clave, so it's a silvered weapon that will do aggravated damage. It is very, very sharp.
Well, now here's a question: with Korax, though, don't they? Is silver there?
I don't know if silver is. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. Silver may not be. It'll still be sharp, but it wouldn't necessarily be like an aggravated to them.
Right. I think to them it's gold is for Korax, if I remember right. So he's putting his hand up to it, and he's like, "All right, all right, yeah, it's sharp." Okay.
It is gold, by the way. I double checked.
Right?
It is gold for Korax, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. It's like, shit, hold on. And he's like, he's looking around, and he runs about 20 feet away. He goes to his backpack, and he pulls out of the backpack. He pulls out like this. It looks like a bowl, and he comes back. It's an old pot. It's an old clay pot. You can see like markings on the side of it, and it's old. And so like when he sets it down, he's holding it with his left hand. He takes his right hand and just squeezes in it, and the blood just drips into the bowl. Like as much as he puts in there, some of it seems to be soaking into the bowl itself. And so he's like, all right, okay, I know it's your axe and all, but can I ask you to do the same?
Of course.
You don't need much blood.
So I just run my palm across the blade,
okay,
without hesitation, and just wring it out.
So it's
grip my hand enough that they can actually hear my grip as I'm forcing it out.
So again, about as much blood as you put in there, like 2/3 of it gets soaked into the bowl, but the bloods are now mixing within the bowl itself. When you look into the bowl, it almost looks like when you drop mercury into water. You know how like mercury is like they're two separate liquids, but like the way mercury will splash through and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost appears to be doing it on its own. Your two bloods are both blood. They shouldn't be separate colors, but they appear to be different shades of darkness when you're looking at the bowl at this point.
Okay.
So he sets the bowl down, and he's like, all right, William, I hear you back there. You're next. So William comes walking up. He's from behind you, and he comes walking up. He's in human form at this point, and he's like, all right. Puts his hand on the axe, and he's the whole thing. He's like, it's silver. And he's like squeezes his hand in there, in the blood, and it's the same thing. And so William turns around and just says, looks where he's like, are they going to come up? Because I can see them, and you notice too, they're coming in from the outside of the forest. You can actually see other animals approaching at this point, but they're all hesitant to enter the cairn at this point. And Sean just says, he's like, all right, little ones, come on. We got to get the blood. This is the way that we make the bridge. This is how we go through. So then they all start coming through, sometimes in twos. You got the gopher pops out of the ground. A snake comes out. At one point, there's a log near you that half the log just falls off. And then from the inside of the log, a centipede comes crawling out of there. A spider comes crawling out. There's grubs moving around. something goes like it was the gopher goes over, grabs one of the grubs, brings it over, and like looks like he's moving it on the blade, but then pulls it off, and the grub actually like kind of rolls away at that point. So you've got everything living creature wise is coming in and sacrificing a little bit of blood for this at this point. The blood is getting the pool it's filling up, and it's like it's moving on its own and everything. And then he starts to chant. And when he starts the actual ritual, his whole demeanor changes. Everything about Sean changes. He goes from this lackadaisical hippie that didn't seem to care about anything to when he's actually standing up straight as if he's speaking in front of 1,000 people, just full of ritual and rite. And this is the way his maneuvers and everything. It's impressive. I mean, you never would have expected this from Sean, of all people, that he is doing all the proper movements and all the proper sayings and everything. It's just he's really taking it seriously, everything that he's doing. So everything up to this point about Sean is like, okay, who is this guy? So he goes through the motions. You can see you can see like the mist comes within the cairn and kind of clears out.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the power itself, and you can also feel the gauntlet seems to be getting thin right now. Sean turns to you and he says, and it's in a deep voice, he just turns to you and he just says, "I need you to make half an arc." And he turns to William and says, "I need you to complete the arc here and here." And he points to the ground.
Great. Once again, we're left without detail. So I'm going to take my foot and start carving into the dirt and arc.
He looks to you and he says, "I apologize. Branches."
Very well. I'm going to go hunt for branches.
And William's like, "Man, I don't hate it when he's like this. Okay, I'll get enough on my side too. Let's go." So he goes off. You're getting branches. He's getting branches. You guys come back. How tall do you make the arc? The arch?
As tall as me.
And you are.
Good question. 1 second.
And then are we talking Hamid form? Or are we talking in your Minotaur form? Or?
No, it would be Hamid form. I think I put myself. I did not write that down there. That was silly. Then I would be probably 6'7"
Okay. So you're probably going to make the arc about like 8 feet, 9 feet tall, weaving it together.
Sure.
All right. Do you have crafting or anything like that?
I do not believe so.
All right. So William's actually, he's telling you how to make this, how to weave the branches together.
Yeah, I do
to
not.
make it stable. Huh? No.
I do not.
Okay. So William's just explaining it to you. I so like at some point, if you want to use experience to buy the crafting skill to make things like this, he's explaining how to do this. So he's like how to intertwine it so that when you raise it, it'll be stable on the ground right there.
Sure.
So the two of you, it's about 9 feet tall and it's about 7 feet wide, making just this wide archway out of it.
Okay.
Sean is continuing to speak. He's mumbling. He's going through multiple languages. Like you can actually hear like languages that are 2,000 years old, like from when just old like dead languages. He's going through like Egyptian, Gaul, Greek. I mean, he's just going through all these Latin, and it just piecing together and phrasing. When you get the archway raised, within the archway itself, he takes the blood and he pours it over the archway. So now it's like when it starts to drip, and it makes it's like a silver sheet that makes within there. So it's like you can actually it's like ripped a tear in the gauntlet that you can walk through at this point.
Okay.
The moon is now high overhead, and there is a moon beam that comes through and shines through the archway, and you can see it going and making a path through the archway, and it's very clear the pathway where it's going at this point.
Okay.
Sean turns to both of you and just says, I need to continue to perform the ritual to make this bridge stable on this end. He turns to William and just says, I need you to protect me. If anything happens to me while I am doing this ritual, the bridge could collapse. And whoever is traveling upon the bridge may be lost in the penumbra at that point. So William's like, I will protect you. And he turns to you and he says, Katamaris, it is your responsibility now to follow the path, follow the light into the Umbra, and Gaia will lead you.
I see. So the whole inference of that you were going and that I was going to accompany with you has been nixed because of your Jewish rite that has opened up the gate.
If I go, there is a chance that the bridge will collapse. This is a stable moon bridge. This is much better than the moon path that I was initially planning.
Very well.
Stay on the path, and Gaia will protect you.
I'm familiar with this part, and that's how I got here.
So, Gaia's blessing be upon you.
I'm just going to take a second look at this whole, like, roped together archway thing. It's like, this is the first time I've ever seen something like this conducted. It's nothing like what I'm used to. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Let's go and see what else I can find.
So when you walk through, when you're on this side of the archway, you see the light shining into the Umbra. You see like a path that's there. When you actually walk through it, you walk through and it was lit, but now it's pretty dark where you're at right now, and you can hear moisture. You can hear dripping of water, and you're not in the same area. This is not the same place you crossed over before. Right. This is a new place that you've traveled into. The path is very clear ahead of you, but that's all that's clear. Everything else is dark around you.
Off we go.
Okay, so off you go. So let me get back to the ladies, and we'll catch us up in just a moment. So now, ladies, you've severed ties. You're at the point now where you can go back to the main room. So do we go back to the main room now, just and get together? All right. When you get there, Basukos is there, and he's wearing his same outfit. Sorry. Yang is standing next to him. He was seated the whole time, but now he's standing there. He was wearing a karate gi before, but now he looks to be wearing like almost traveler's clothes, like a monk that would dress that he's about to go somewhere. So like he's wearing traveler's clothes. He has a staff in his hand. The staff is not like a bow staff for fighting. It's a traveling staff. It's a gnarled piece of wood. It has glyphs on the side of it, and he has on his left side he has an old bag. It's made out of it's woven. It's not leather or anything like that. It's a woven bag, but you can tell that this bag is old just by looking at the way it's made. There are 10 men behind him that are all wearing karate gis, and they all have varied weapons in their hands. Anything from knives to sais to some have swords. A couple of them have long swords strapped to their back. So they're all dressed for a fight. And they look at the four of you and they're like, are you ladies ready to go?
Are we expecting trouble?
Yang says, when you travel below the world, you need to prepare for what Gaia has forgotten.
I mean, should I have brought a gun?
Absolutely not. Not upon this pathway. Any mechanical device on this trip will cause the forgotten one's attention to focus upon us. So with that, I would say any device of this world that is not that is mechanical, that is not simple, needs to be left behind at this point.
So do we just take the rest of our stuff then? Like, are we actually leaving here for
We are
good?
leaving. We are leaving now. Yes.
Okay, so she'll get her stuff together and basically get ready, I guess.
Yeah,
Yang
Montana
looks
just
at
kind of dropped her
Yevon and he's
shoes.
like, "You look concerned."
Ooh.
Yang is looking at Yevon. He says that. He says, "You look concerned."
Oh, this is just new to me. I haven't done this before.
This is a pathway we do not take often.
All I have on me is a knife.
A knife is fine. Kagami, you have prepared yourself. Zanshi, you have prepared yourself. Montana, are you prepared?
As prepared as I guess I'll ever be, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drop my shoes and do you have anywhere I can put my stuff?
Do you want your stuff back?
I mean, I imagine in a year or so I might need some of this back, so
We will
I
keep it
mean,
for you safely then.
yeah, do you have like a cubby or anything like that?
We,
Lost
we
and
will
found?
we will place all of your ladies' materials within a chest, and we will keep it safe.
Fair enough.
When he
Lindon has reported that Francis has decided not to join us.
Oh,
oh. I was gonna say when you were talking about that, that there could be trouble. At that, I would have gone ahead and, now that I know that all of these people, it's okay to do this in front of, pull out my gone out.
She pulls out the big old freaking weapon she was fighting with before, but like it's bound to her, so it just appears out of nowhere, basically. He's like, then we are prepared. He walks over to an area of the wall that had a tapestry on it, like and then behind the tapestry, there's one of those the folded room dividers with all the really well decorated, and he points at it, and some of the men come forward. They just fold it aside, and on the ground, it looks like a manhole cover. It's just a round piece of clay on the ground, and it has all these different markings on it in Chinese. Who speaks Chinese? I can't remember. All right.
The one that came from China.
Yes. They're words of protection, but like each one, and it's old Chinese. See, like the characters that are on there, it's old. Like it's high, like I guess like there's different forms of the characters for Chinese. So these characters are very old. He points at it, and he taps on it with the end of his staff. And when he taps on the end of the staff, you hear like a very hollow sound underneath. The men come forward, and somehow they're able to separate it, and so it comes apart in two pieces. Normally, a manhole cover would never do that because it could fall inside. But the way they're like unfolding it like doors, basically. When they open it up, in the center of it, the hole is about 6 feet wide. At the very center of the hole, a pole slowly rises, and then the pole touches the ceiling. The pole is covered with a black grease that's all over this pole. So the two guys that opened it up, they looked to Yang. Yang speaks to them in Chinese, and the first two guys just jump on the pole and just disappear into the hole. And you guys are probably about 12 feet back from watching all this going on. So you can see the hole is dark inside there, but the hole's dark inside, and you can't really see very far unless you get closer to it. Yang turns around to the ladies and he says, there is no procedure on who needs to go next. I would just say that I should go in the middle, and we should have 5 of our men at the end for numeric reasoning. But you ladies are welcome to go when you're ready.
I'm gonna jump in.
All right.
I've got my Guandao, but I'm a big person, so I'm just kind of gonna wrap it with like one arm, one leg, and just because like this is like I'm ready to fight just in case. So I'm heading down.
So you get on there. She's gone. She just disappeared.
She's on her tail. She's like, oh, I'm next.
Okay.
And then she just kind of she's gone.
So you ladies are standing there. The other men are just kind of looking at each other. 2 more men jump in after her.
I'm going to go next, and I'm going to give a little flourish and like kind of spin on the pole and wave as I'm going down at Eva.
Okay. So she goes down. Yang says, I should go next. So he walks up to it, and he just like steps out and grabs it with one hand, and he looks like he's standing on a platform, but there's no platform there, and he just lowers down. So like everybody else kind of like grabbed onto the pole and slid down the pole like a fireman. He's just holding it one hand and goes down like he's holding like or something. He's just slowly going down. So
I'm gonna go up to it and like put like slide my finger down and like smell it and look at it, kind of like, do I really want to touch this?
It has the feel to it of lard, but it smells like oil.
It's nice. Then I guess
From behind you, you hear somebody say something in Italian.
I don't speak Italian.
I know, but you recognize Italian though, and it's behind you.
I'm gonna look behind me and see if the boys are still there.
Francis is back, and he's like, "That's fucking nasty. What is that?"
Some kind of lubricant. I
And he's
thought
like,
you were not coming.
I wasn't gonna come, but now I'm not sure if I'm supposed to come. So you got lube on a pole? Where's everybody go? Where's everybody at?
Apparently this is the way down.
We got to grab the pole.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know about this.
Everybody's doing it.
I'm a little. What's that?
Everybody's doing it.
I guess if I'm going to get some kind of honor, I've been doing a lot of renown, and I haven't done any kind of honor, so I got to go honor wise. So I'm gonna go. So are you going first? Ladies first. Go ahead. All right. Or am I going to go down?
I'll go.
All right. So you go down.
Yep.
So you get down. Next comes Francis is right after you, and the rest of the guys come right after that. You guys are underground, and I'm watching the chatter in the background. Yes, you guys called it. You are underneath in old Chinatown, and you are in an area that's there's bricks. It's brick here, but quickly within like 15 feet, it's a tunnel, and so like and it's a cave structure that keeps on going further out. So underneath, right here, definitely man-made, but with the mist that's off behind you in the distance here, it's definitely cavern structure. There's caves that go on. There is like a river of mist here that's just flowing between. So like, and Yang just says to everybody, stay close to the side. Gaia will watch over us, but again, there are things within that Gaia has forgotten. And you can see, like, with a mist that's kind of rolling there's some kind of liquid underneath that mist. He says something in Chinese, and the first two guys start leading on. The walkway is about 3 feet wide, so you can easily walk straight on it, but there are parts it looks a little old or rickety. You're afraid maybe I'm stepping on my fall, so you might want to walk with your back to the wall. So if you do the same structure, you got some of the men that go. You ladies, the only one that saw Francis was Yeva. So now suddenly Francis is with the group. He's just shown up now. So that's new information for all of you. So that he's just with the group. Do you guys react to Francis being here now, or?
I'm just gonna say, hey, you're a little late to the party.
He's like, yeah, I don't know. I was not gonna come. I had a long talk with Lim Don. Lim Don got a little mad with me because he said that I needed to be a little creative with my vernacular because I was mad. I was like, every other word was the F word coming out of my mouth. I'm watching what I got to say, but I was mad. So Lim Don got mad and he left, So Yang looks at him and says, Lim Don reported that you were not going to be coming. He's like, I never said that. I just said I wasn't sure. I'm here now. I'm here. I got the dunk on me. We all got lube on us, so we're going to be okay. So let's go forward and see where this goes. This is just some crazy stuff here. So the men are. What's that?
Master Yang, if we're expecting trouble, should we change forms?
You do not need to change form. If you have a weapon handy, you may have your weapon out. But the men in the front have been prepared, and in the back, so we will not be ambushed upon the road. If the things that Guy has forgotten appear, he pats his bag. I have ways of magics to fight against them.
All right.
We do not want a full combat within this realm.
Very well.
So
You said
you're walking along.
2x2 or whatever.
It's only 3 feet wide, so you can only walk one at a time.
Okay. I know Kagami came down after me. I want to make sure, I've developed a friendship. I care about this person. I want to make sure that she's with me.
Yep.
I want to make sure I protect
she
her.
is sticking by you like white on rice. Like, don't even worry about that.
And like Kagami, this is like right out of an anime. This is like, holy crap! I've just stepped into an anime. So,
I'm not complaining. It's an adventure.
Yes. Whether you've been in the Umbra before or whether you've traveled in something like this before, this is still new for all of you. Just what the hell's going on, basically. So you're traveling along. It's lit. It doesn't seem obvious where the lights are coming from. There seems to be times when the river that goes next to you, the mist will clear and you can see the liquid. And the liquid's it's dark. I mean, it's a dark liquid that's there. You can see it bubbling at points, and like nothing's coming out of the water, but you can see like bubbles of something underneath the liquid that's there. So you just keep traveling along. Any comments or?
Is there? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm just gonna look at the bubbling. Just I'm wearing white, so.
You were good.
Go ahead.
Well, you guys are a good foot away from the water, or the liquid, not water. You're a good foot away from the liquid. So you would have to step into it to get but it is bubbling, like something's underneath there.
I'm focused on the path. I'm not really checking out the liquid.
Okay.
Did he say
Britton, go
not
ahead.
to touch? Did he say not to touch anything? I can't remember.
He never said that. No.
Okay, and are there like sticks or anything on the road?
There's no sticks or anything on the road. There's moss growing on the cavern wall itself. You can see that. There are some loose rocks on the path that are smaller, but there's no sticks or anything. Wait, there are some. You can see some roots growing within the rocks. It's by the rocks too, like vines going through as well.
I'm gonna take out my knife and cut off a little length of vine so that I can poke it in the water.
When you start cutting the vine itself, the vine twists away from you like a snake. And then where you cut it, it's bleeding.
Oh, okay. I stopped doing that, and I like pet it and let go.
Yang's he went before you. He turns around when he realizes what you've done, and his eyes are huge. He's like, "No, good, you have stopped. The life within here will see that as an attack. Do not do that again, please."
I won't.
So he's like shaking his head and he's cursing in Chinese at this point. He's like, so it's like, and he's just kind of like walking away from you, but he's cursing in Chinese at that point. Jen, you hear Yang cursing in Chinese back behind you, and it's bad enough that you're gonna blush. Like he's not being offensive, but he is just like what is Gaia done to me? Where am I going? What is this truly Gaia's path? But he's using a lot of curse words with that. So it's like a polite sentence, but like the equivalent of the F words, like intermingled with this the entire time.
Okay. Yeah. That's nope. I'm just like, but nobody else knows. So I'm just like,
Well, the men that are around, the 12 men, they hear it as well, but they're just pretending not to hear it, or they're just ignoring it. So
yeah. Well, I meant like of my little
of your group.
here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You're traveling for a while, and you guys hear a roar ahead of you, like deeper within the path. You hear like a roar. It's somewhere between an elephant and a lion roar. Definitely a predator kind of roar. The two men at the very beginning, they turn around, eyes are huge, like, and they're speaking in like half Chinese and half English. They're like, do we keep going? Master, where do we keep going? So like, they really don't know. They look terrified at this point. The first guy says it again. Master, do we keep going? And he's pointing ahead. And Master Yang
like ready because like they're scared. I don't know what this is. I'm ready to go. If
you might as well be wearing Kagami as a backpack because that's how close she is to you by now.
You guys are walking along, and now you're all kind of on edge at this point. There's a point where the ground actually rumbles. You feel the ground move at this point. But it's more like not an earthquake, but like you're standing on a people mover at the airport. You know when you're standing on a people mover and it goes over different wheels on the airport kind of thing? So like something under the ground, it feels as though something's gone under the rock that you're on.
Well, I'm not going to stab it this time.
Okay, everybody
caution.
Everybody roll perception, alertness. Difficulty is 9.
If it involves sight or hearing,
Yes. So difficulty for you would be 7.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say I have noise.
Just noise?
Yeah.
Okay, so make it 8 for you.
So what's the difficulty again?
Difficulty is 9 unless you have something that will decrease the difficulty.
I have nothing.
One,
I also have
two,
nothing.
3.
Okay. So we have no successes but no botches. So we're doing good.
Correct.
I don't have anything other than like sense worm. I don't know.
I rolled 2 10s. I do have a 1, but
I got none.
Okay, so you got 2 10s, but you got a 1. So 1 takes out one of those 10s, and
Right.
that 1 10 can blow up. So roll one more dice.
another 1.
So that doesn't take away the 10 though. So you got 1.
I still got a 10. Yeah.
Okay, so but you have a success. All right.
Yes.
You are. Let me get my. Hold on. I got a man. I got 2, and after the 2 men, it was. Who was next? Oh, Zanshi was next. So man, Zanshi, Kagami, couple more men. Then it was Yang. Then we had Yeva, Francis.
Montana first.
What's that?
Montana was
Oh,
before.
yeah, that's right. Montana went before Yang. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So we have 8 guys behind you taking up following. All right. You guys everybody's very focused in front of you. You're very focused in front of you. You felt that almost ground quake or ground movement underneath you. Zanshi, you turn to look at Kagami to make sure she's okay. So you look behind you. And when you look behind you, so it goes Zanshi, Kagami, a couple guys, Montana, there's Yang, Yeva, Francis, and then 8 guys are behind Francis. Okay. So when you turn to look at Kagami to see if she's okay, you see the rest of the line of people behind you. And then about in the middle of those 8 guys, this centipede-looking thing comes out of a hole that wasn't there a moment ago and like grabs a guy by his upper torso and just grabs it and pulls him back into the hole. And the guys, the other 7 guys are like freaking out. They're like pulling their swords out, like they're like going to attack the hole. And they're like, ah. And so, what do you guys? I mean, you see that thing grab him, pull him back, and again, it's only 3 feet wide. There's no way you're getting back there.
I'm gonna just because I'm closer to the front. Be like, look out in the back. So
Kagami was like, okay, we gotta
I'm
go.
like,
we gotta
I'm ready to strike, and I'm looking around me too in case something else is
There's
popping out
nothing
of
else
the
around here. Yang's like 3 people behind you at that point. Yang reaches into his bag. He pulls out like a handful of marbles and chucks them at the hole. And he looks and he says something in Chinese. He shakes his head, wipes his brow, and he's like, "It will come out no more."
What? What'll come out no more?
One of the guys behind you that his buddy just got taken actually says that in Chinese. He's like, you know, it's just like, what will come out no more? So he's like yelling back there. Francis like leans over, like he's like leaning past Yeva, and he's looking towards the front of the group going, what the fuck was that? Seriously? What? That's like added like D&D and stuff like that. What was that?
Tremors.
And Yang just says, it was one of the forgotten ones. We go forward now. And you guys go back on track and start walking again. The guys to it in front, they're kind of freaking out. So they're like they're walking along, they're leading you guys. And you get to a point where it's the whole cave structure, everything starts to get smaller. and you see it's a hole about 3 feet by 3 feet. And the two guys are like, Master, and he says, and now we crawl. So the two guys get on hands and knees and they walk inside, they crawl inside. Zanshi, you're next.
Not so sure about crawling with my Guandao, so I'm gonna probably like
Bind it to you.
rebind it.
Okay.
I was like, reabsorb it, like, and go ahead and start crawling.
And you see the men behind you when you do that. Whoever has a weapon, they start strapping their weapons onto their sides, so they can crawl easier. Okay, so you're in the hole. Kagami, you follow.
Yeah.
Couple guys go after you. Montana, you follow.
I do. I'm going to grumble a little bit that I should have changed first, and then I'll go ahead and crawl.
Okay. Yang easily he's following along. Yeah, but you're right behind Yang. He should, as old as he looks, he should be having a problem crawling like this, but he doesn't appear to have any problem in getting on all fours and going in that hole.
Is that a lot of training? I don't know.
So you went after him. Francis is like, okay, this is like going the wrong way up the vaginal structure, but we'll do that.
Sorry.
So he's going in. You guys are crawling along this hole. It's there. The darkness kind of envelops you, but there is definitely a hole, like a light at the end of the tunnel. Literally, you're going through this tunnel as you're going. You heard Francis curse at one point. He's like, he says something in Italian, and he's like, "Oh, my hat! Oh, man!" It's okay. All right, fine. All for Gaia. You get to a point, Zanshi, you're all going to individually get to this point, but I'll do Zanshi first. I want you to roll. The guy in front of you, like, goes in the hole and like, he appears just to, like, disappear down the hole. So I need you to do, it's not perception alertness. It's like a dex check is what I need from you. Yeah, do like dex alertness or dex athletics, something along that line.
Either way is good because I have fours on both. Alertness, athletics is acrobatics, so I guess we can go there.
Okay. This is sight. Difficulty is 8. So is yours is for sight, is that right? Or is it for sound?
No, mine was for sound, and then athletics is acrobatics.
Okay, so this is it's sight. So the guy just disappeared in front of you, fell down like a chute kind of thing. So you're like, how you react is what's going to happen, how you fall down. So you're doing dex, athletics, or alertness. Difficulty 8.
I only got 1.
1? All right, so you can do it. Real quick, Kagami, you had sense worm. You instinctually did that earlier when you saw that thing. It comes out. You do sense worm as a reaction to what you saw. There was no worm taint on it at all. If anything, I don't know how strong. Give me your sense worm. What are we looking at with that? Is that
It's a gift. I mean, I've never used it before out of character, so I don't know how I would roll that.
Jerome, help me out. Sense worm, what are we rolling for that? Is it just sense worm, or is it like, are they using primal urge?
Yeah, there's no role really tied to it. It's something that they activate. Then you could probably just do a perception alertness if you wanted to do something like that. But really, all it's going to tell you is, do you sense worm in the area or not? It's not a varying degree of anything.
All right, so but you're definitely you'll sense. But I just want to, if you give me a perception primal urge. Do you have primal urge?
Where is that under primal?
It's under talent.
It'd be abilities, third column.
Okay.
I believe.
First column.
So perception and primal urge.
Primal urge. It should be under talents.
Oh yeah, first column. Sorry, talents.
Difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
Okay. Oh. No, you can't see it. I got 3.
3. So you actually, it's kind of opposite of worm. You feel that this is something of the weaver because you have the worm, the wild, and the weaver. So you feel that it's of the weaver. Montana, you almost know that that thing is weaver, just instinctually. So it's just because the centipede, like insect arachnid kind of thing, you kind of had a bond to. It's like, hey, that's cool looking. So all right, so back to Zanshi. So Zanshi, you get 3 successes. You get on this shoot, and yeah.
No, I say 1 success.
Oh, I think you had 3. 1 success. Okay, so I was going to give you some kind of acrobatic flourish, but since it's only 1 success, you slide down and you're able to get to the end of the chute and not land on your butt. So behind Zanshi is Kagami. So you saw her disappear. You can prepare yourself for it. Just roll just dexterity.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
And I have a specialty in lightning reflexes, so that works.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you difficulty be 5.
Excuse me. Whoops. I need one more D10. Difficulty 5.
Yeah.
I got 2.
Cool. So you get down the chute, but with your lightning reflexes, you're able to stop yourself and not barrel into Zanshi when you get to the bottom of this. It's like, whoa, hey, sorry about that. So you're able to get up.
I get out of the way because I know that more people are coming down.
Okay. So and that's exactly what happens. One of the guys comes down. Another guy comes down. When he comes down, he yells back up the tube, and he just said he yells. He's like, "Come down slowly. Not a lot of room right here." So Montana, you hear that?
Okay. I'm gonna be as cautious as I possibly can. Do I roll dexterity too?
You're fine because he gave you enough of it. So you guys come down. So the whole group comes down. Everybody's moving out of the way as you're all coming in. And the lighting inside this area, you're now in a giant cavern. The cavern is about 30 feet deep, 30 feet high, and it's got a dim light to it inside here. It goes back so it's 30 feet deep, 30 feet wide, and the back wall, it's darkness there. You should be able to see past 30 feet, but because of the dimness of the light, you're only able to see 30 feet into the light.
There's space again. I'm pulling my weapon back out.
All right. So and everybody pulls a weapon out at this point. All the guys are all pulling their weapons out and everything. Yang says, "One moment." He takes his staff and he starts chanting, and he's putting his hand over the staff. The man that's in front of Montana and the man that's in front of Zanshi, they both turn around and say to you, "Don't look at the staff." So Montana, you hear that. So all 4 of you ladies hear when they says, "Don't look at the staff."
Okay. I'm gonna do this.
It's as bright as the sun. I mean, it lights up the cavern. This is a 30-foot entryway. When it goes past the 30-foot mark where the light lights up, it goes back like it's probably like 300 to 400 feet back. You can't tell. The cavern just keeps on going, and then from the 30-foot mark, it slowly goes up, and it appears from where you're standing to be about 200 to 300 feet. It's just this cavernous void that you're standing in, and it's all rock, and it looks to be it's naturally hewn. There's no man-made tools that made this go away. You would all notice there's no stalactites and there's no stalagmites anywhere in here. It's just a void that's inside here right now. So you're all standing there in this big void. Jerome, I'm going to come back to you. You're in the darkness. You're following this path.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun is shining. in front of you at a 5-foot mark. It's like a tiny sun that's about it's probably about 300 feet away. I mean, but it's you from darkness to a like this sun just slowly turning on
Right.
and lighting everything up. But you see this light way the hell ahead of you, and it's definitely on ahead of you on the path.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to jump off the path, so I'm going to continue going forward.
and so you're in Hamid, and your weapons behind is bound to you, right? It's
Yep.
not okay. You continue to walk following the path, and you see a large party of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 people in front of you in this large group. Looking at the group, it's a mixture, mostly male, but there's males and females in this group that you're approaching. You guys, at about the 200-foot mark, there is a man approaching you. Like he just. You slowly see him walking out of where the darkness was on the path, and he's approaching you at this point.
Don't know who this is. I'm ready to fight if need be, because I don't know who this is.
Is he?
All right, so are you in battle stance then?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I'm in fighting stance. Like what?
So you're number 3 in line. Actually, Yang's in the very front. So there's Yang, the 2 guys, and then you. When you go battle stance, the 2 guys walk around and stand in front of Yang, and they're both like in combat, swords out, ready to attack. You've got yours, Jerome. You see this. You see these people fanning out in full battle formation. They're like weapons are coming out. They're kind of fanning out in front of you in a half arc. This is definitely battle tactic that they're fanning them out in.
Okay.
Montana, Yeva, and Kagami, what are you doing? All these men are going into fighting stances.
I'm getting
I
behind
guess I'll-
them because that's the whole point.
Okay.
Them being there.
I guess I'll draw my knife and approach or like stop and watch.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and watch, but I'm going to hang back with Kagami. And do you think he's one of the forgotten ones?
Guess it's as good as
I'm
mine. He doesn't
also,
look like
like,
a centipede.
What's that, Stacey?
I say I'm also looking at Yang, like, because know what all of this stuff is. So like looking at him, like, good, bad, what?
So
know?
he's calm. Yang is totally calm. So there's the 2 men that went around him, and then you're standing next to Yang at this point. So when you look at Yang, he's just holding his staff there, and he's just calm, just standing there with the staff. So, Jerome, you see battle formation.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the females step backwards to the back of the group. One female taller is standing with that big old weapon there. One's got a short knife. And then there's this really thin guy that's wearing a really messed up suit. And he's just like standing like he's ready to like do fisticuffs at this point. He's just standing there like this.
Okay, well, I got 1 success. So do I do I detect any worm?
Nope.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Then I am going to spend. Hold on 1 second. See what I have for a dice pool. See if it'd be worth it. I think I'm probably going to. Let's just make it easier. Appearance, meh. And oh, geez, yeah, I'm not going to bother to do that. That's definitely something I'm gonna have to work on then. Then since I can't detect any worm on them, I'm going to stand my ground. But since they're obviously trying to flank me, I'm going to stay where I'm at. Produce my axe and let it thump to my side.
So, Zanshi, you know what he just did. He just unbound. He has this Grand Glaive axe that he just pulled out of nowhere. So it's the exact same that you've done. And you guys all see him pull out this giant axe. It's just, he's not threatening, but he's also not presenting himself as an easy target. He's like, the whole demeanor of him right now is, if you're going to come, then come.
I'm still watching Yang because I'm like, I'm not familiar with all of this stuff. So if he's not reacting, because I'm not just going to go rush in, that's not the kind of fighter I am, and so, um, if I need to, if somebody's obviously attacking me, but I'm going to be watchful. And so since Yang knows these things, I'm watching him. If he's not doing anything, I'm not doing anything. I'm ready if I need to, but I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting for direction, basically.
So Yang actually speaks at this point, and he's speaking in like old Chinese. So Zanshi, you can understand part of it. It's almost like old English, the way he's speaking. So you understand it, but not fully. And he just says in this old Chinese, he's like, "Did the Korax send you?" So all you hear is Chinese, Jerome, unless you speak Chinese.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Sprechen Sie talk.
He looks at you confused. And he looks at Zanshi, and he looks back at you again, and he's just like, he goes, Apis?
And?
Do you say and?
Does he say that in English?
Yeah, he just says, he says is Apis.
So I say and?
And then he goes into English at that point. He's like, "You speak English?"
Yes.
I am sorry. This is...
Although I'm quickly realizing that apparently is not a commonality within these parts.
No, it is. I did not know that you had learned English from where you came. I did not know how I was going to communicate with you. It looks like you have taken care of that problem already.
Yes, we have eyes and ears.
No, that you speak English.
That's what I was alluding to.
Let me start again. Did the Korax send you?
The one that reeks of medicinals, yes.
He has a half smirk on his face when you say that. Okay, this is why he shall be replaced. And he turns around, and he's speaking in English, and he turns around and looks at Yukigami, and he says, and this is why he shall be replaced. We have another Korax that will be joining you to replace this one. This one is less of this world, but also of this world. I know I speak in riddles. But he looks back to Kagami and just says, this one will be more of the group.
Are you talking about the Korax that supposedly sent him, or this guy that has this really big axe?
And to infer, I am not a Korax. I do not caw.
He raises his hand, and then like when he raises his hand, the light lowers to like not a blinding light at this point. He's like, the moon bridge is open. Put your weapons away. It appears that we have reached the end of our journey at this point. Ladies, Ratkin, he will be your guide back to the cairn. And from there, you will go to your new destination. Apis, you have, and he goes and he goes. We have Bastet, Anasi, and Korax that are joining you, and Ratkin, because like Francis is like waving his hand. He's like, and Ratkin. Can you lead them back along the path back to the cairn?
I believe that is what I was sent here for, so yes.
So with Gaia's blessing, I will take my men back upon the path. Take these travelers with you. The next leg of your journey will begin soon. With Gaia's blessing, return on your path.
I thank him and bow.
Yeah, she'll kind of wave to them. Good luck. Don't get eaten on your way back.
Bring the explosive marbles.
Yang does hand and fist, bows back to you. The remaining 11 guys all do the same thing, hand and fist, bow back to you at that point. And then Yang says to you, Katamaris, he says, do you have or need a light source to return?
I simply walked here and stayed on the path. So no, I do not.
So follow the Apis. He will lead you back to the cairn. You may introduce yourselves, get to know one another as you travel, as you see fit. And he just says to you, Apis, I thank you for your return. Gaia has blessed us with your presence. And he bows to you.
Well, thank you. I don't know why you didn't inquire what my name is and you insist upon my breed. But my thanks.
I do not need to know your name for the Chronicle. I need to simply know what you are to place within the script.
There are that many of me? Never mind, you're probably going to go off on a tangent like Sean did.
He bows again, says something in Chinese. Stacy, you kind of think that he's saying in Chinese, idiot, but you're not sure. And he says to the other men, and they start walking back down back the way you guys came. So the light is leaving at this point. It's getting pretty dark in here. So it's the 5 of you and Francis that have been left behind.
He had mentioned about not knowing, the name or whatever, and so I'll introduce myself. I'm Zenchi. Friends call me Jen. I am a con. You're an Apis? And what is your name? What is an Apis? What?
We'll get into that later, I suppose. For now, you can call me Katamaros. Stay on the lighted path.
And
I'll
then
never hear
Francis
the end
is
of it
like,
if you don't.
wait. So another cat? We already got 2 cats. We got cat, and cat over here. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm Francis, by the way. Nice to meet you. He's walking up to you to shake your hand. He just says, nice. It's nice to meet you.
Before I shake his hand, does your kind still cull humanity?
Do what?
By your ignorance, I would take that as a no.
What do you mean call humanity? I don't know what that means.
We have a long ways to go. It is good to meet you, Francis.
Hey, thanks. You're going to shake my hand, or what are you going to do?
Oh, I'll shake his hand very firmly.
Awesome. So, he's like, whoa, you got a grip there. You're a big guy. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this. Hey, and he turns around to Montana and Yeva. He's like, I've been hanging out with these broads over here. They are tops. Introduce yourself, girls.
I guess I can start. I'm Montana.
I'm Yeva.
And I would really like to get out of here. It's
Yeah.
kind of dark.
Let's maybe save this for after.
Yeah, when Montana says that, it's like the only thing that's lit up at this point is the path. That's it. It's like when you were talking, it was getting low. It was getting darker and darker and darker, and then when you're like, it's kind of getting dark. It's like the lights have been shut off, and all you see is the path on the ground that's lit up. That's it. And so when Yeva's like, yeah, maybe later, it's like, yeah, this is a good idea. And Kagami, you're like, this is like, it's time to go. So
She's just quiet. She's watching the exchange and she's looking up at this guy. Like, just
Do
go.
any of you have rope?
I'm just gonna pat my dress and fresh out. Sorry.
A belt?
Um.
Long
No.
pantaloons? Something to tie together with?
She
Frank,
could have. Sorry. go ahead.
I got my jacket. I could take my. I mean, this is a piece of shit at this point. So I could. Yeah, I'm thinking of following you. I could. Yeva, if we could cut up the jacket and tie it together, we could make a jacket rope. You know, like we could do that. Like cut the sleeves apart and everything. You know, you just gotta like hand the knife to me, butt first, because I don't want to grab that knife with my hand.
How difficult is this climb?
It's not the difficulty that I'm concerned with. There are members among this group who do not naturally take to the Umbra, and should you slip from the passage, it would be good to know if you did. Because you would not have a ready way back.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, but you feel Francis like he's not trying to grope you, but he's trying to find you. So like
Yeah, maybe like the buddy system.
So like he actually pushes past Montana like that's not Yeva. Yeva, where are you? And the next thing he's grabbing your waist and he's like, oh, there it is. And then he's like looking for your arm. So he's like patting, trying to find your arm, trying to get the knife out of your hand.
I mean, you could have asked.
I did ask.
So you just
maybe
wanna-
we should like hands or something?
I'm gonna cut my jacket up and we can use that. We could tie our hands together, make some like handcuffs out of this if you want, or I guess let's make a long rope out of it. I can easily cut this thing up. I've strangled people with less material than this, so it's easy to make rope out of stuff.
I mean, unless you guys are like afraid of cooties, we could probably just hold hands. Or is that too close for you?
It's not a question of being too close. It's all about, I think the rope part is like also tying ourselves together. So if something happens. So
Catamaros.
Catamaros. Sorry. Catamaros. How dangerous is this path ahead of us? Are we doing lots of twists and turns, or is it like
not relatively, but it's all or nothing.
So you actually hear the ripping of the material at this point. So as he's talking, he's actually doing this. He's like, just give me a couple minutes. And it's like, I can do this. So he goes, okay, I got this. So it only takes him about 5 minutes. And he's like, all right, where are you? Yeva, you're here. Good. You hold this rope here. You good? Okay. Montana, here's for you. You gotta have to, you said your other name's hard, so I like how you said Jen. I'm gonna go with Jen. Jen, here you go. Kagami, is that right? Kagami?
Yeah.
Okay, here's Kagami, and I'll bring up the tail end. And hold on, and he like fumbles past everybody, and he's like, so Katamarus, here, here's for you're the leader, so you can have this piece here. And
Thank you, Francine.
All right. No, Francis.
Catamaros.
I'll try it. I'm gonna get it.
I'll work on it as well.
Is that Greek or what is that?
Sounds Greek to me.
I don't know what it is.
Everything's Greek. Sorry.
No, I mean it. Okay, never mind.
The OUS kind of situation. I will say, like, if there may be danger on the path, I am uncomfortable with having both of my hands occupied. I'd like to tie this to myself instead somehow. So I may have at least one hand free for my weapon.
Hey, Jen, you do what you need to do. Just, yeah, I mean, there's a limited amount of rope on here, but like Montana said, it's dark in here, okay? I wish I still smoked because I would have taken out a lighter at this point, but I don't have a lighter or anything. One of you
They
chickies
would've-
don't have a lighter, do you?
They would have
Oh,
taken
no,
those
that's
away.
right. Yeah, it's mechanical. We weren't supposed to do that. I don't have matches or anything.
I'll figure out a different way to do it. I might actually offer to Kagami to like the wooden end of my weapon as opposed to a rope so that I can keep my hand on it.
Actually, she's gonna unsnap her belt because her belt is also a weapon, but it's nunchucks that are connected together with a chain. So she will take that off, and then she'll hand her one end. That way you can keep, one arm free or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, because I don't know who's going to be the Katamaras.
Every roll perception and alertness, difficulty 6.
Who? Everybody or?
Everybody.
Yep, everybody.
And it's sound. So if whatever adjustment
Sound,
you have
okay.
for sound.
So was it perception and
Perception
alertness?
alertness.
Sorry, both?
Yes.
Yeah, roll perception and alertness together, difficulty 6, and it's a sound that you're hearing. So whatever
I
affects.
have dose.
I got
one.
I have noise. So
I have one.
Yeah, 4 up there. 2,
One.
4, 1, 1, and
is it difficulty 6?
yes,
Okay, I have noise also. That one.
that works. That's a noise. So I
Okay.
dropped it down to a
I
5.
have, well, then I got all of them. 7.
7.
Everything is 5 and higher.
All right. So I thought
So-
4 was crazy with Brittany over there, but you got 7 successes. So
I do. 5, 5, 7, 6, 9, 9, 8. Yep.
all right, so let's start off with my 1s and 2s. You hear a roar. My 4, you know what the roar is. My 7, yeah, you really know what that roar is. It's the exact same roar you heard before that thing attacked. And it's behind you, the way you came. Not the way that Katamaris came from.
Centipede's behind us again.
I thought that thing wasn't supposed to come back.
Maybe there's another one.
Katamaris, can you lead us? You haven't seen the centipede thing, and so I would rather not see it again. So if you don't mind, can we leave now?
Yeah. Can we hurry?
Are you
Yeah,
sure it's not worth the trophy?
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Can't even see.
I'll at that point, I'll just snicker and start leading them through.
All right, it's an easy path. You guys follow along. All this lit up as the path for a while, and then all of a sudden you see this 9 foot by the 7 or 8 foot wide archway with a silver watery texture to it, and you see, and he's heading that way. So, it definitely looks like silver though. So my folks that have problems with silver, you might be hesitant with this. Anybody have a problem with silver in the group?
Yep.
Nope.
I don't think so.
But Katamaris, you've been through this before. You
Yes,
know
I
it
have.
doesn't. Yeah. But Yeva, this is it appears as if it's a silver waterfall he's leading you to right now.
Yeah, what's that? Is that what is that stuff?
It's supposed to be blood.
That ain't blood. That's silver.
Do I look burned?
No, you look good.
Did it look like that before?
Yes, it did.
All right, Katamaris, I'm going to trust you here. I don't want the centipede thing getting us, and I kind of want off the path at this point. So yes, please, let's go.
So I proceed on.
So you see him walk through. It doesn't wash over him like a waterfall. He just passes through it. It's a doorway, so he passes through it. Zanshi, you're next, and then Kagami. Are you guys just following along?
Yeah.
Zanshi,
Yes.
I think Stacy might be frozen, so we'll say yeah. All right, that brings us Montana. Good.
Yep.
And then Yeva's next.
I'll close my eyes and jump.
Okay. And as you're actually like pulling Francis through when you're going at this point, he's like, "You got to be kidding me!" So, and you walk through. You guys are now in the cairn. It's full moonlight at this point. You actually, Catamaris is of nature, so you probably would be able to tell how much time has passed by looking at the moon as a close approximation.
Mm-hmm.
In the Umbra, it appeared as if maybe an hour went by, less than an hour.
Okay.
Looking at the moon, it appears as if like 5 hours have gone by.
Yeah.
It's still dark, but it's really weird. Like it's been a longer time, but you also just traveled halfway across the country, so it's
right.
A distortion of reality of what's going on at this point. So, you guys all step out. You see, this hippie guy just kind of chanting away, and you see like a 12-foot tall Krynos bear just standing there, looking around like he's ready to jump anything at any point.
I'm just gonna stare William in the eyes. Why?
He says, "I already had to kill 2 Banes, and I don't know where more are coming from."
So I'm gonna turn and look at at Francis, and I'm like, I have with me a ratkin who doesn't even know that their kind used to be the warders of men. I don't think you have anything to fear.
Sean, like, he's just kind of standing there. He continues to chant for a while. His eyes are rolled back; they're pure white. William like calms for a moment and puts his hand on Sean's back, like right between the shoulder blades. Just puts his full palm there, and it's freaking big enough that it covers his whole back. And then when he does that, Sean snaps out of it, looks around, and the everything about the moon bridge just falls apart. It just falls over. The silver waterfall that just stops, and the branches just fall over. You can smell that ozone layer when electricity goes through the air. You can smell that in the air right now, and it's dark, but you know that it's going to be it's that twilight. It's still dark, but it's before sunset. So, like, within an hour, you'll start seeing the twilight towards sunset sunrise at this point. You do notice there are 2 charred spots on the ground. So William wasn't blowing smoke. He did fight something while you guys are away. Sean just kind of like sits down on the ground, crisscross on the ground. He looks at everybody. He's like, "All right, so everybody's here. I'm going to take a nap now." And he just falls backwards and just starts snoring.
Is he okay?
William just goes, "Sean is Sean. I don't know if Sean is ever okay."
I'm just looking around, kind of bewildered. Just what is
Where are we
happening?
now?
Who are you? What is what?
So you guys are in the middle of a forest and it's dark. And you know what? Let's leave it at that because it's almost 10. And I think this is a good breaking point right here.
Yep.
So our group is finally together.
Yay!
Yay!
died,
Nobody died.
except for that one guy.
Except for the one guy that got eaten by the centipede creature thing.
Yeah, he didn't even have a name.
That's the red shirt.
fine.
Red shirt kung fu guy number 1.
Yep.
Shouldn't have worn his red shirt today.
So time-wise, in the chat, I saw people chatting, and I commented as well. So it looks like the 14th is good for everybody, but the 28th was questionable. Is that correct?
I think questionable just for me. I would say don't wait for me, but I likely will be okay because it's a Monday. But the potential of family being in town.
Right. So let's just Jerome, we want to wrap it up online, and let's just call it a night.
Sure. So then we'll do XP next game, which will be the 14th.
Yep.
And then the next game coming up in 2 days, which will be December 2nd, is going to be Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
So we're going to be doing episode 2 of that. So super excited. Brittany is still going to be out of town for that, so she'll be tuning in from Prescott. So hooray. And we're going to find out just what sort of a task we have for everybody at hand, and if there's going to be any more family drama. Because the Asari drama llamas that we have.
Drama llama is rude.
So yeah, so with that then, thank you guys for watching or tuning in or watching the rebroadcast when it gets uploaded to YouTube or if you check it out on Twitch. And everybody have a good night. Bye.
Night, everybody.
Blink.